Hello everyone, happy Saturday morning. Welcome back to FPL Jedi Show. This is Gameweek 24 Deadline stream. My name is Hafiz and I would like to welcome my buddy Azmin to the stream. How are you, brother?
I'm good, and I just like to take this opportunity to wish our Chinese viewers a happy Chinese New Year. Hope you had a good reunion dinner yesterday as we usher in the Year of the Dragon, which hopefully will also bring us a lot of FPL points.
Nice stuff. Happy Chinese New Year to everyone who are celebrating the festive. But our mind now, we need to focus back to FPL Game Week 24, of which this is when we can we call it a pre-week before the double game week 25, then blank game week 26. And latest news is we are going to have double game week in 28, where Bournemouth and Luton Town will play their matches twice. So what's your first reaction, Min?
Bournemouth Luton is the one where they started, right? And ended up stopping where Solanke had scored a goal. So before they stopped, a lot of upset FPL managers there, but I think the outcome in the end was the right outcome, which was to just reset and restart because the match shouldn't count in terms of points. So other than that, it just also means a lot of planning needs to be done to ensure that you approach each game week without having to make too much hits, and it's something that I've been guilty of not doing, especially with regards to this AFCON and Asia Cup players. So you just be ready. Look at the fixtures. Fixtures are more important, so think ahead.
Yeah, I think this is a crucial week, because this will set up for the next two game weeks, double and blank. And after that, you want to continue your momentum, coming to that double game week 28, and then so-called big blank game week in 29, where the quarter-final of FA Cup matches will be running. For sure that we already have 3 confirmed matches in game week 29. That's a quick one. We know Burnley and Brentford going to play in that match together with Fulham Spurs. And then after that FA Cup 4th round replay, we can now confirm that West Ham and Aston Villa want to proceed in that game week. And potentially there'll be another game between whether Luton Town versus Forest or even Manchester United versus Sheffield United, because Forest and Manchester are going to play the match between those two teams. So I think that's just for a quick overview for the rest of the week. And this is the last. It's not so-called the last hurdle, but I think this is the game week that we're going to go into the crucial week of the season. All right, man. Let's go jump into the game week 24 fixture, and we can know our focus will be on Manchester City and Liverpool assets, and also Luton Town and Brentford assets to an extent, and the early kickoff. Who would you know we're going to have? Maybe we are going to have team leagues about Man City versus Everton, because they are going to play the lunchtime kickoff early of this week. Then after that, there'll be 5 matches on 11 p.m. Malaysian time. We have Fulham versus Bournemouth. We have Liverpool versus Burnley. This is where the Moneyball so-called game will be. We have Luton Town versus Sheffield United. This could be also a good entry for Luton Town players. Spurs versus Brighton, Richarlison on form, and especially B1 in terms of Spurs asset, but they are blanking in game week 26, so we need to be careful in terms of planning. We have Wolves versus Brentford. This also can be a good entry point for Ivan Toney, because he's playing Wolves. And then on Saturday midnight game, Forest versus Newcastle. And on Sunday, we have London Derby, West Ham versus Arsenal. And then we have Aston Villa versus Manchester United. Both a decent team, but Villa recently lost back-to-back game. Replay. So we still think about Villa assets. And we close off game week 24 with another London Derby, Palace and Chelsea. All right, man. Why not? We go to the big one. We want to hear what Pep been saying about his team. So what's the latest news?
Okay, so the biggest problem with Manchester City is that apparently everyone is fit. So that's the biggest news, and which is good in for Manchester City, not so good for us because we know that Pep is definitely capable uh, to rotate his team at will if he wanted to. We've seen that a lot happen last season, especially when you have the likes of Grealish fit, Bernardo Silva, and all these players can come in at any time. So not an issue because now you got Foden as well. You would think that Foden situation is fixed, but you got Grealish and Doku there, and Alvarez there. It's so much to like in this in this lineup you have Bernardo not playing. Yeah, but is that likely? Could that change? It can because Bernardo Silva is definitely on par with the likes of Doku, the Alvarez. And he's a reliable player. Yeah, and it's a problem because with Everton, you've got Dajuba Doucouré there, and well, not who cares about Delhi, right? But Gomez out. So and it's just really it doesn't look good for Everton at all. Yeah. Except for Brentwaite, who will randomly score. But other than that, the likes DCL finally did. Um, Harrison is actually he scored, and DCL is still struggling with goal scoring. So it's gonna be a whitewash for Everton, I'm afraid. It's just a case of which players are you going to get from City. And I think most people have a lot of people have Foden and Haaland. So do you go for a a defender, or do you try? And I don't know if any people have Haaland and Alvarez, which is also possible. Look at the four: Foden, KDB, Alvarez, Haaland. It's insane. You're trying to figure out. I'm looking at it thinking, should I get Alvarez anyway? Even though I want Haaland, it's hard to figure out really.
Yep. Yep. I think if you're going triple attack, I can see that people are loading on Foden, KDB, and Haaland. If you can afford it, by all means. But there can be some other combination, right? You mentioned about Haaland, Alvarez, and could be Foden or KDB in midfield. Or you can actually afford you can afford KDB, then you can have like Haaland, Foden, and someone in defense. So that can be an option. So I think the likeliness that you're gonna triple out on Man City is higher. Okay, and with all the players fit, you just cannot know which Pep lineup we're gonna be. So just need
It's
to
impossible.
live with it, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next match, man, which is
Okay.
Fulham versus Bournemouth. Okay, Bournemouth gonna double Gameweek 28. I'm not sure whether you're thinking whether not to release Solanke if you still have your team. So what's the latest?
Yeah, on the Fulham side, it is Raul Jimenez, who's still a big loss. Iwobi is still out in international duty as well. But Muniz, to be fair, Rodrigo Muniz has been doing well in decently in Raul Jimenez's absence, so he'll definitely be up there as well. Behind him would probably be Willian and Pereira and De Cordoba Reed or something. Yeah, yeah. So on the Bournemouth side, no significant changes. I think. We saw Billing come back, but then Billing got suspended anyway, so he's three-match against Forest. So everyone else, Clifford, Tavernier, and Sinestra, I think, will all play behind Solanke. So, but when it comes down to it, no one's looking at this Fulham versus Bournemouth in terms of picking up players. It's really a case of trying to decide whether Solanke is worth sacrificing for the double gamers. So yeah, you and on the face of it, it seems like it's acceptable because Fulham at home are okay, and they have improved much better than at the start of the season. Bournemouth have not been as free scoring as they used to be, so it is something that I would consider.
All right. As much as I want to say that Solanke could still be an option in game with 28, but for this transfer traffic, I can spoiler a bit. I can say Solanke is among top 5 going to be transferred out for this game with 24. All right. Let's go to the next one, Min.
Yep.
This is an interesting one because it's Liverpool versus Burnley. We want to know whatever condition, especially on Mo Salah, whether he's going to be ready and maybe he can play in game week 25. I think that is the most talking points for this team news. So what's the latest?
Okay, so yeah, Salah is still not ready yet. Looks like the hamstring issue is still a problem. So he's out. So you got Jota, Nunez, Diaz, and possibly Gakpo there to look at. Although, based on historical data, it does look like Gakpo is the one who will miss out. Yeah. So, but there's also a problem with Liverpool. There's been some news of flu. But
Is that true?
yeah, it is true. No, it was Klopp who mentioned
Okay.
it. Yeah, so it's just a case of training. But then when you looked at the training images that were out, you only Gomez was missing. Yeah,
Okay.
so maybe he's the only. But then you got Robertson, who's looks likely to come back. So yeah, and it'll be good to have him back. Although we don't know he'll be kick on greatly. I don't know. Zoboslai is out as well. Hamstring issue as well. Other than that, everyone else is okay. So the case of I don't know. The only thing is that on the back line you got Konate is banned, so most likely Kwanzaa will come in and sit in the middle because Gomez isn't available either. So on the Burnley side, we know that Taylor is not likely to be ready. But we know that Vincent Kompany has stopped being very forthcoming with his team news, But just now you mentioned Solanke price dropping. Taylor's price is also dropping at the moment. So we just pointing this out now because price changes will happen in about 15 minutes. So it's something that you want to take into account as well, and make those decisions whether or not you can afford the price drop. Yeah. The other thing with Burnley is the fact that there are the new signings. Fofana has done quite well, so it's possible that he might come in, want to try to turn their seasons around. But other than that, it's same old.
Okay.
Likely.
Just a quick question. We understand that Nunes did not starts from the bench last week. He's on protective boots and so on. Is he clearly can start this game? What do you think?
Yeah, he's likely to start. I can't see Liverpool not playing Jota, Nunez, and Diaz. And let's face it, because they did end up losing against Arsenal, so was Nunez's chaos maker role missed? I'm not sure. And speaking of that, again, I also want to mention Jota and Nunez are likely to increase in price as well. I'm just basing this off the site FPL statistics. So those two are likely. So you need to make that decision. I think there's a question on the chat. Maybe you want to just answer that now because it is quite crucial.
Okay. So which one? The first one is it?
The first one, yeah. Let's
okay. Talking about Damien or Jota. So pick one if you have say only one free transfer.
Let's tackle that. So I'll throw the ball to you, Hafiz. What do you think?
Okay, this is what I've been researching in terms of Liverpool assets. In terms of stats, Darwin are the most expected goal. Okay, I think he's somewhere around 5.5, something like that for the past 6 game weeks. In terms of stat, Darwin is the best. Jota slightly lower. I think number 4th or number 5th or something like that in terms of expected goal. Okay. It's team dependent. My mind says Jota. My heart says Darwin or something like that.
Heart attack Darwin. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay. So for me, I, the stats all says Darwin, doesn't it? Yeah, in terms of likely
That's fine.
chances
That's fine.
expected, and then
That's fine.
he had so many attempts.
That's fine.
Um, yeah.
And
So
he could be likely still on penalty, right, mate? What do you think?
yeah, that is a big question. Is he still on penalties or is McAllister? But no. Okay, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say Darwin will still be on penalties. And the thing is, with that likelihood, Jota will not be on penalties because if Darwin's not on penalties, it'll most likely be McAllister anyway. Yeah, so that does, yeah, you have to consider that. So, but also with or not you have space lah in your team. Uh,
Okay.
I'm saying Jota because the
Okay.
forward line is just too packed.
All right. Fair enough. We attend Rakyat FPL question later, mate. So let's go to the next team news. Luton Town. Also interesting because people also eyeing for Luton Town. They double next week, although they blank in game week 26, but they are now confirmed playing double in game week 28 and potentially also play in game week 29. So what's latest news for both teams?
Right. So Luton, no real issues. Okay, we got the all these potential FPL picks for you are all fit, which is the four players we're looking at: Barkley, Doty, Morris, and Adebayor. And so all these cheap, can easily fit into your team without much trouble. So it's something to really seriously consider. Sheffield United, no real change. It is a problem of them trying to figure out what works best for them. Obviously, got McAtee who should be helping to bring the torch for Sheffield United, but based on Luton's performances so far, you're gonna expect goals in this one. Sheffield United have not kicked on since their new manager, previous manager has come in back. Yeah, but they have not kicked on and shown much improvement after the initial start.
All right, good stuff. I think most likely if let's say people want to go enabler, they like Kaminsky, Doty, Barkley, or even you mentioned about Adebayor, could those the asset be coming in. I saw yesterday, FPL Harry did plan for his team, and what he did actually in his mind that he want to triple up and getting KDB instead of Jota, full triple
Okay.
up KDB, Foden and Haaland, and he's going to sacrifice in forward, getting the cheap Adebayo to afford this move. So I think that's I never thought of that move, but that move can be considered if you feel that the triple up Man City attacks is the way to go. So I just want to share on that.
Yeah, it is. Luton will be an enabler if you really want to push into getting those more expensive, triple up of that very expensive City triple up. So yeah, I agree.
That's what I mean. Spurs versus Brighton, interesting match because both are attacking team. So much more on Spurs, but maybe a bit transition in terms of Brighton assets. So what's the latest news from Postecoglou and also Dizabi?
It looks like it's even harder to pick up Spurs now because we got so many of the players doing well. Richarlison's doing well. So we got Son back. So we do not. He'll start. We don't know, but Ange did confirm that he will start. He's ready to start.
In the squad.
He's ready. Sorry. He's ready to start. But we don't know. He'll start, we don't know. But he said he's ready to start together with Bissouma as well. So you also got Madison there, Kulusevski there, Johnson there. So it's really hard, because let's face it, Spurs have done well without Son. Yeah, so obviously Son will come in, but how we figure it out? That's a case because I'm missing someone. Who am I missing that I didn't mention? Timo Werner. Werner as well.
Let's say Son start, it will be at the expense of Werner.
Okay, because that's in the position now. If Richarlison continues, should continue to start up top, right? He's pretty much locked it in, I guess. Because we saw last week Kulusevski was benched for the first time under Ange. So Whether that will continue, we don't know. So it's a bit more trick. Of course, we're not gonna, those who have Richarlison carry on cruise control, but everyone else is a case of wait and see as we look at their assets, and especially because we're not likely to pick them up this week. Yeah, but something to watch.
How about on the Brighton side, especially Estupinian owners?
Yeah, so the problem with Estupinian is we don't know whether he'll start, but uh, I think there's. Hang on, I thought I saw news on Hinchelwood, but I don't know. Yeah, so the Estupinian problem is a very significant one, and as a Estupinian owner, I'm extremely worried. So, and it might need me taking a hit just to help cover it. I don't know really what's the case. Uh, Brighton scored without Estupinian, and um, Tariq Lamptey, has finally looked like he's shrugged off his fitness issues that he had, that he's always had throughout his career in the Premier League, and this season he looks like he's managed to stay fit. Now we do have Mitoma who's back as well, but I don't think he'll start. I maybe he'll be on the bench. Yeah, those of you who have Gross, you might be okay to just carry on.
Yeah,
To be fair, it's not the best match, because if your team is solid all the way, and then you want to all throughout and just want to add in and one more double gamer for next week, like Gross could technically be sacrificed, but only if that's the case. Otherwise, you might keep, because Gross could still return this week.
Yeah, I just mentioned about Gross because with João Pedro miss, Gross could actually take the penalty duty, and he's already on set pieces duty some more. So I think Gross really the talisman for Brighton right now, and regardless match, I think you play him without worries. All right, let's go next match, man. Wolves versus Brentford, another team who going to double next week, which is Brentford. So pretty much some interest in terms of Brentford assets. So what's the latest news?
Yeah, Brentford, all you need to know is Tony is fit and Mope is fit too, if you want to do a slight difference, because Mope has been doing well and he was the one who scored against City. But I wouldn't. I'd still keep Tony. Other than that, everyone else is same old, except that Josh Da Silva is also injured. Got injured in training. Yeah, but other than that, everyone else. So you should remember Regulon from Spurs, so he should start as well. Are we considering Brentford for the double? Really, it is about Tony, because if you're gonna
only Tony.
If you're gonna have a filler for the double gaming, it might as well be Luton, not Brentford. Yeah, because Luton assets are far cheaper.
Yeah, I mean Adebayo over Mope. Are you talking about that, right?
Yeah, with this Adebayo over Mope, even let's say if you want a defender, then you definitely want Luton's Doty instead. And because the even if you want to get a keeper, you don't want to get a Brentford keeper because their fixtures are not good, and they play Wolverhampton, who score freely these days. It's insane watching Wolves right now, and it's frustrating that we don't have any players from them, because we're looking at that double game, but because Wolves are most likely going to score this one. No, it's not an issue. They will, based on their form. Neto is in great form. Cunha is in great form. They don't have to worry about not having Huang. It's not an issue. Yeah, he's back. He's ready to start. But again, he doesn't have to. The Wolves score goals on the goal scoring point. Gary O'Neill has really changed it. Yeah, so that's it.
Right. Good stuff. Next one. Forest versus Newcastle. Can I say both are in struggling form? In terms of Forest are somewhere at the bottom of the league. Newcastle at the same time last week match of 4-4 draw against Luton at home doesn't help. They keep leaking goals. So what's the latest news mean?
All right. So on the Nottingham Forest side, Wood is still out, unfortunately, which is because he was he was okay for them for a while, but Awoni is around anyway, so it's fine. Other than that, Gibbs White is a doubt. Is still a doubt. So apparently he had some issues in midweek. But other than that, they are fine. I mean, of course, you got Aina Boli who's still out. But on the Newcastle side, the biggest problem is, of course, with us Gordon owners. So Gordon is a doubt, but it's not exactly ruled out. Eddie Howe didn't explicitly rule him out totally, but then I think he's out lah. I mean, hopefully he can be back sooner rather than later. So this, but let's face it, Howie hasn't been truthful in
Mm.
his previous press conferences. But if you have him, you might want to just bench him rather than sell him. But it's a risk. Yeah.
And
Isaac will still be out as well, which is a big miss. So Wilson's up. Wilson's okay, so he can continue up front. So the question is, are the Newcastle assets still okay to go? Well, Trippier, I think people have Trippier. Dubravka, I think we just gonna have to soldier on with him if you have him. But Trippier looks a bit expensive, but then he can still score against Forest.
yeah, you did touch about Gordon Min. With the news that Barnes coming last week and scored goal, so there is potentially minutes between those two players. Say because those both could actually play on the left flank. So I suppose with the Barnes news coming back from injury and playing and scored goal, there'll be some minutes free in terms of Gordon moving forward. So I think it's reasonable that you're going to drop Gordon, unlikely to play this week. But they do play in Gameweek 26, although they're actually playing with Arsenal. So I think that's not a tough match on paper there. Okay, man. Talking about Arsenal, we are going to talk about West Ham versus Arsenal team news next. So, I just want to share, if you didn't realize, this also could be an interesting match because on the reverse fixture, West Ham wins 2-0 away or at
Arsenal at
Emirates.
Emirates.
Yes, at Emirates. So I think what will happen this week, we are not too sure, but West Ham capable to do that. So what's the latest, you mean?
Well, the biggest news is that Paqueta is still off, so he's still out. Of course, Antonio's out as well, so no real differences there lah. Yeah, but Kudus has shown that he can make the difference with Bowen, so they're fine. So other than that, everyone else is the same. Don't worry, Ariola should still be there. I don't see that likely to change. So the only thing is that Ings and Maxwell Cornet should still be second choice lah in favor of Bowen and Kudus. Ward-Prowse, of course, continues there as well. On who do you play? Arsenal. Sorry, on the Arsenal side. So Zinchenko is there's a doubt there. So again, true to form, Arteta is being very dodgy with them in his press conferences. So we do not Gabriel Jesus is ready as well, is available. We're not sure, but because Jesus and Zinchenko are the ones looking doubtful, the latest doubts. Other than that, everyone's okay. So the question is, will Arsenal continue in the same way because they did win against Liverpool? So Saka, who did pick up a knock, but he should be okay. So you got Havertz and Martinelli. You got Havertz and Jorginho. They started against Liverpool. So is that going to be the same against West Ham United? We're not sure. It is possible that Nketiah comes in as well. So it's a bit hard to figure this out. But of course, if you have the likes of Saka, you might as well keep him. It's a derby, so anything can happen.
Right, good stuff. West Ham versus Arsenal. This can be an interesting match for sure. The likes of Arsenal said, if we have him, I think you're going to play him. I'm not sure whether you're going to bench with West Ham because Arsenal could actually score in this game. Let's go next one, Interesting also, another match. Villa versus Manchester United on the reverse fixture. United won a thriller 3-2 against Villa. So Villa definitely wants to take revenge on this game. So what are the latest news for both teams?
Okay, so Villa just lost to Chelsea in the FA Cup. So so now the question is that they need to rebound back. In terms of the Aston Villa injury, no real issues except Konsa is out, so Carlos and Lenglet should there, and Cash could get a recall. But obviously, if you're looking at that back line, it looks a bit suspect. Yeah. So, but Moreno there is turning out to be quite a good FPL asset, and with Digne still out for a long period, it looks like Moreno. I can safely say that Moreno has locked in that left back, and moving forward, maybe after the double game, you want to consider bringing him in. For Manchester United, the biggest blow is that for them is Martinez being ruled out again. Yeah, so you got Maguire, Varane to partner back lah. The good thing is Hoyen is in decent form at the moment. So and I can tell you now that the price changes have moved up since we're talking, and Hoyen is one of those who went up in price. Haaland went up in price. Darwin, Jota, TAA went up in price, and Barkley and went up in price. So your Jota, I don't know if that's your move, but Jota and Nunes have both gone up. Solanke has dropped together with Bernardo and Almiron. So not many price falls, a lot of price increases. I just want to say, I just want to take note. I'm really annoyed with this Haaland price increase when he was being sold, he didn't drop in price. So I'm still quite miffed about how FPL does that one. So, but never mind. Anyway, back to Aston Villa, Manchester United. So Aston Villa need to rebound. Manchester United will want to continue on the good form. It's a tough one to call. It could end up being a goal-scoring draw.
All right, good stuff. Next game, man. The last game, which is Crystal Palace to Chelsea. Chelsea should be on Bournemouth because they actually wins away when it matters. 3-1 against Villa, but this will be a different ball game. But Palace, we heard that's a lot of injury news hitting the team. So what the latest news?
Yes, you've got the three key players out, Eze, Gueye, and Olise, who are all important for Palace. So it's just a wipeout for them. And if it wasn't for the fact that next week it was a double game, it might be a good idea to pile in on Chelsea assets. But of course, Chelsea assets can be very dodgy at the best of times. But we all have Palmer, so Palmer's fine. So other than that, so this is the last match of the week. So if you already have an extra Chelsea asset, it might come good. But if you look at that lineup, because Nkunku is not there in that potential starting lineup, and in the Aston Villa Chelsea clash midweek, Nkunku didn't start, and the fact that they ended up victorious showed that Pochettino might not want to fiddle with too much with the lineup. I just want to say about Palmer, the thing is he's still good. Not as an FPL issue, it's just that he may not pick up as many points because with Chilwell around, if you notice, Chilwell has been taking some of the set pieces off him, some of the dead ball situations. Chilwell has been taking some of them and not just Palmer now. But at Palmer's price, who cares? Still pick him up. He will still return.
All right, Ben. We already covered all the team news. Let's go to transfer traffic for Gameweek 24. For sure, it will be dominating by the Man City and also Liverpool assets. We can see Haaland and Diogo Jota is the most to transfer in for this Gameweek 24. Around 400 plus thousand managers has made that move, including yourself, right? And on third one, I'm not sure whether this is a surprise, but regardless whether Spurs are blanking Gameweek 26, Richardson is the third most coming in for this week, with 408,000 managers has done that. I think at the back of that 15 points against Everton, so-called, all right? We then have Foden and in the top four, and then 3 p.m. because of that 9 points against, and Newcastle still has some decent fixture for the next two at least before they're meeting Arsenal in Game 26. On transfer out, also no surprise, Gordon is among top 518,000 managers. We both have Gordon. I'm not sure whether you still have him. He's still in my team, but he could be out sooner than this week. Then after that, we have Bowen continue to disappoint. Solanke to get in the likes of Haaland or Darwin. Alvarez also the same situation, and I said for these double game week players. So what's your comment in terms of transfer traffic?
Right. So yeah, Haaland. Yeah. Trippier is the thing about a lot of people are basing Trippier and Richarlison, people are basing off on the points scored. Maybe they're not worried, or maybe they don't care because they're gonna use a wild card or free hit for game week 26. So it is possible that so as a result they're not worried. But that's the strategy. Gordon being transferred out, I'm not sure. Is it how serious is Gordon? It doesn't look like it was that serious, but we don't know. He did go leave, if I remember correctly. He did leave the stadium in crutches. Bowen, people are losing faith a bit, I guess. Is that the problem? Yeah. So, but it could also be the fixtures. Solanke looks like he is being the one of those being. Solanke and Alvarez are amongst probably the top two players who are being sold off to bring in Haaland. That's the reality of it. Yeah. So that's the case. Isaac, of course, is injured. So yeah.
All right, Min, good stuff. Think we're going to go to our team plan this week, Min. Let's go to my team first. As you can see, I have 2 million in the bank and 2 free transfer. So I can go any way that I can do, like do 1 free transfer and roll to next week, or do all those 2 or 3 transfer and take a hit this week. Those are all in my mind. But until you announce that news, I could actually do Gordon to Jota at the exact money. But now it won't be because you mentioned about Jota already increased in price.
You really
So,
can't? Really, you priced out?
I have priced out if I just want to do that 1 transfer. Means that Jota in for Gordon.
Oh, okay. Alright.
And also I was thinking about whether I can get in Darwin and Jota in these 2 transfer to get to take out Gordon and also Solanke. I will not have that money unless Saka or Watkins is the other combo instead of those 2 cheap players. So I'm not sure whether Watkins or Saka that I want to take out this week, but I can do that still. So the other thinking also ialah maybe I just bring in only Darwin this week for Solanke, and then bench Gordon for this week. But I was thinking like, maybe I should not be too conventional, right? Let's be aggressive this week. Burnley, Liverpool could win 4-0, 5-0, right? So that could be a possibility.
Well, speaking of someone who really only has Alexander Arnold on my lineup, Liverpool, you would expect Liverpool want to bounce back after the defeat by Arsenal. So it is quite likely. I guess for you, right? With you have not, now that you priced out of Gordon and Jota, the question is that if you had managed to bring in Gordon and Jota, who are you gonna bench?
If let's say that situation only 1 transfer, then I'm gonna bench Solanke.
Solanke lah. Okay, so either way, Solanke is unlikely to see play lah this week. You are looking.
If let's say I do that Darwin Solanke move, then Gordon will be on my bench, which is likely if I want to do that 1 free transfer. And we already talked about in terms of stats, Darwin is the top among Liverpool assets, right? So in logically that should be the move, but the reality is Jota could actually get 1 or 2 chances and break that. So I think Jota could be the more potentially explosive player in the Liverpool sides, despite his expected goal. So I think the other opportunity, which I be aggressive, I will take that -4 this week. That -4 will be my second hit for the season because I only took 1 hit so far until game week 23. If I may recall, that hit is somewhere in game week 9 or 10, somewhere there. If I do that this week, so what can happen? I will bring in Jota and Darwin, and also maybe one of that Doherty or Guardiol as the cheap defender because I can't afford Kyle Walker in this 3 move. Okay. and then play those three. I have 3 Liverpool assets, maybe 3 Man City assets, or maybe 1 Luton players at the back. But the most crucial one, am I going to bench if I bring all these assets in? Probably one of Watkins, Saka, or Palmer. I don't think I can bench for another one more week after that 20-point haul, right? So it will be difficult, man. It will be difficult. It will be difficult if I
It's
do
a,
that minus 4 points move. What do you think, man?
it's hard. So basically, make 3 transfers. Ugh. How often have you done that? 3 transfers.
Not much. I can say. This
I
will
can't
be my
remember
second.
the whole time we stream. Have you ever done a three? I don't know. But if you're willing to do it, if you really see the returns, especially with City looking quite cautious, but because obviously one thing you pretty much ruled out KDB, right?
I think so. Maybe like Harry mentioned about getting KDB and the Bayu combo, but I feel Jota and Darwin combo is much better. That's what I feel.
Yeah. So it's but also a case of you know putting too many eggs in one basket. So it could always backfire, and the only risk with City is the rotation issue. Yeah. So with Jota and Nunez is unlikely. Yeah. So I do like the idea. I think the Walker for who?
Sorry, I can't afford Walker.
Oh, you
Kyle
can't. You
Walker.
can't afford Walker. Okay.
The only thing that I can afford is a 5
Return.
million defender,
Okay.
which
Then
most probably I will take out Pedro Porro for it, because he also blank in game 26. If I got that Man City assets, I'm gonna have like 4 fixture in the next
yeah.
3. But for Spurs, only 2 matches in the next 3. But for Luton Town players, if let's say I want to bring that Luton players, it need to be this week. Because next week
Yeah.
is double,
It's
and Liverpool and Manchester United, so no point getting him out. So I think the best entry point is this week.
Yeah, and I think Doty is your best bet there for Pedro Porro. Make it happen.
Yep. I will do some research to confirm that could be the best. But I think on paper there'll be a better option, right?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now that we passed the price movements, so there's no more price movements until the deadline. The thing is, it's actually possible to get early City Everton news. So that's the I don't like being in that position with whenever City come in because if you see Doku turn up there, would you try go for him? Would you want to go for him?
I'd favor Jota over those any City asset.
So if then that's the case, then no problem for you lah. You don't have to worry about being there near the deadline and and worrying about because if
But if let's say I wanna proceed with the City defense, whether Guardiola or Ake, if I am interested, then maybe I should wait. But I'm not too sure about. I think Doty prospect is much better. He could actually get a clean sheet and attacking returns in this Sheffield United game, right? A hauler,
yes,
12, 15. There is possibility.
and his positioning, he plays quite up quite far in the front. So yeah, definitely it's something you need to consider that. But all I can say is, are you sure you're gonna leave Breathwaite on the bench?
For sure, against away to Man City. For
You
sure, I think.
you're just gonna have to smile if he randomly gets an assist. So yeah.
I think what 2 move that I can make is, if I'm being cautious, I just do that Darwin move for Solanke. If I'm being aggressive, that the -4 hit will happen. So I'll give you a thought later, okay, and hopefully before the deadline. All right. We go to your team, in?
All right, maybe I'll share my screen instead. How about I share
All
my
right,
screen?
fair.
Probably better.
Yeah.
Because
With 7 million in the bank. Or maybe you already made your move, right? Oh yeah. Okay, you can show that.
Yes, I have because I've already made my move. Okay, so this is my team as it stands. Dubravka, TA, Pedro Porro, and I brought in Doty for Zinchenko. So I finally, I'm worried about the doubt because especially with Gordon out, he will be out. And also the likes of Estepinian is a bit suspect. So I brought Doty in for Zinchenko. Palmer, Gross, KDB, Haaland. I brought in Haaland, and he is my captain at the moment. And I finally lost patience with Nkunku, and that's it for it.
You take a hit, right, for this move?
Yes, and I took a -4 hit. Watkins and Tony. Tony is never leaving, of course. He is a fixture. It was a case of whether I sell Nkunku or Watkins, and I figured that Watkins has just been the more solid performer. He's more dependable. But even then, if I decide to go really aggressive and take another hit, it might be Watkins sold off for, I don't know, maybe
No, no,
uh,
no, 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 no,
no, no.
no, 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 no.
Okay,
I don't
all right.
think. I don't think.
Fair enough. So yeah, that is as it stands. That's my team as it is. Yeah. So my only worry is Pau and Estupinian there. Who should I bench? Pau or Estupinian? Pau, of course, he's coming back from injury. Apparently, he is fit, but Estupinian is underplaced with Brighton, and we saw him bench last week. So I'm really
Man.
struggling with that one. Yeah.
Okay, man. I think what could be another possibility, right? Why don't you just put Gordon in your lineup and put Pau in as your first sub? You just never know Gordon going to start, right?
I don't know. The thing is, he's not even yellow; he's red. But okay, yeah, I can do that. Not a
But
problem.
this is only on paper. How we could actually say Gordon, you start later? A 60 minutes from Gordon is still good enough for me.
Okay, yeah, that's done. But Estupinian or Pau as the first sub?
I think you put Pau. And then
Okay.
and just pray for the best.
I'm praying, all right. Okay. So the only thing is, when looking at this lineup, what's the issue here? The issue, I do not have a Liverpool attacker aside from TA. So it's a challenge at best lah. But I'm just going to have to deal with it. Yeah.
That's okay.
So
That's okay.
we'll see. Yeah, because only two. So basically, as it stands, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 double gamers going into next week. So
Which you can actually do another transfer next week.
yeah, so I could do another transfer to bring it to 5, and if I want to, then maybe go 6 and take another hit. So we'll see. But it looks
All
okay
right.
at the moment.
Okay, good stuff. Let's take some question before we wrap up our session, main. Interesting, Ake or Gavardiol, but you just never know, right?
I'll probably go Ake. I think he's just better. So, and Guardiol is a bit suspect sometimes. So okay.
Bench one of this player, Gabriel or Trippier. I will never bench Trippier.
Yeah, I think the issue here is because Gabriel is great at set piece headers. Yeah, so you need to consider that. But then West Ham, they got pretty tall players as well. So, and technically speaking, it is the tougher matchup. So Trippier it is.
Right, Raya over Ariola.
Oh, this is the same question, isn't it? Arsenal defender versus Arsenal goalkeeper versus West Ham defense. I honestly, I go for Ariola. I just feel that Arsenal gonna take a lot of shots, and Ariola, at West Ham, is gonna be more open. So Ariola's more likely to have more miscellaneous points than David Raya. Both will concede.
Fair. Who to sell for Darwin, Solanke or Watkins? I think this is a question that we've been talking about just now, which one. I think there is no certain answer because Watkins now gonna play in game week 29. So in the long run, you might need a Watkins player. But Solanke, on the other hand, gonna double in game week 28. So I think it's a tricky one. But for me, I think Solanke first before Watkins. That's my thinking. What do you think, yours, man?
Yeah, it's just that Watkins is the better player in a better team. So sell Solanke.
Which combo should I go with more upside. A three-way transfer in Darwin, Cunha, Adebayo, but those are the three strike force. This up front, Haaland, Watkins, Solanke. Which combo better? I don't know. Combo with Haaland will be definitely the better upside.
Okay, so the first two have two
Two
double
double
gamers.
game week players. Yeah.
So the second one has one. If you were just considering this week, I would argue the first one has more upside. But if you're considering game week 26 in comparison, I'm not sure how the rest of the team look. Then I still think that the second option is better.
Next one, mate. Which combo? We did touch about KDB, Adebayo, or Foden Darwin. I feel Foden Darwin could offer better points than the other combo.
So the problem here is you're trying to decide which Manchester City asset is better for the long run, because both Darwin and Adebayo were blank in game week 26. Yeah, so it's gosh. The thing is, Foden is more affords you more flexibility with your team, because KDB is quite on the higher end side. I go Foden Darwin. And
Yeah,
I don't like saying that because I have KDB. But yeah, on the basis of current performances, Foden has been the better player, FPL wise. Anyway.
Last but not least, could Haaland be benched on UCL match? It could be, and then they play Alvarez. Mean that Alvarez could sit out this game against Everton. They start in the midweek. And that could be a scenario that will happen.
The thing is, we know that Haaland is the type of player who will want to play, and we see he hardly gets benched. So if he's fit, he'll start. But yeah, it is a worry because I just moved in for Haaland. So I hopefully, because I'm attending a wedding tonight, so I'm not sure I'm gonna have time to look at the lineups. But hopefully, at the very least, I'll be able to do a bench Haaland if that happens, because he's already on my team.
All right, good stuff. A quick one. In terms of FPL Jedi League, if you're interested to join our community, do join us at ZA9F60, the league code. The number one, Kamaransi, still going strong despite only 59 points this week. He's now tied up with 1-2-3 goal. Lama with 1-4-4-6 point, because 1-2-3 goal scored 84 points, a big one. Just take a look about Kamaransi team. He has a KDB and Alvarez, no Haaland this week. But the big one, he benched Barkley for that 13 points.
Oh yeah, and the thing with 1-2-3 goal is that he had Richarlison, Foden as well, so that made big difference, big gains there.
So I think that position could be a different one next week. We just don't know, but those are on fire right now. Other than that, FPL Futi Merah on third place, jumping for those teams scored 80 plus point. Justin 96 dropped into 466 points. Sabah FC also suffered setback, 5th place. I also suffered setback dropping to 8th place, but still at this first page top 10. Hopefully we can bounce. I can bounce back in this game week and preparing for that 25-26.
Yeah, Armed Forces FC, just to point out, at 94 points, he was also one of those who had the Richarlison Foden combo. So good stuff.
Nice one. Myself, I also have Richardson and Foden combo. Sadly, I bench and Foden.
Move on.
All right, man. The deadline this week will be on 7 p.m. Malaysian time. Okay, so don't miss out that deadline. And to those who are actually tuning to our stream, do hit the like button and also subscribe to our FPL Jedi YouTube channel and support us. So your last word, man.
Yep. So last words is again, City Everton deadline. chance to see the lineup, but be careful. Yeah. If you can, then wait. Then otherwise, make it early because you never know what might happen. So all the best, and may all your arrows be green arrows. See you on the
Yeah,
other side.
yeah, for sure. And my last word is, if you feel you're unsure what you need to do for Gameweek 25, I think let us make it easy. Prioritize that City and Liverpool assets, and you should be fine. Don't overthink about Luton Town and Brentford players. If I may say to an extent, prioritize those City and Liverpool attacking, especially. If you're worried whether you do not have FTA, I don't think it's a must. Van Dijk could be a good enough player on in defense for Liverpool. But if you don't have any Liverpool defense, I think also fine. So just focus on that. So until the next stream, take care, good luck, and hope to see you again. Take care. Bye bye.